Hey everybody, this is Scott Swinchock. Welcome to the Sink or Swin podcast. Over the course of the year, we're going to be bringing on quite a few of my friends who happen to be subject matter experts on various financial topics, and hopefully we're going to provide you with some relevant information over the course of this year. Thanks again, and welcome to the Sink or Swin podcast. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to episode 8 of the Sink or Swin podcast. I can't believe it's been 8 episodes already, but today I'm here with my friend Danielle from TrueFit Marketing, and I think that she's just going to go some frequently asked questions, and we're just going to have a discussion today.
All right, that sounds good. Yeah, I would love to. I know that you get some questions that are kind of reoccurring, and I'd love to have you give us some SWIN lessons.
No, I appreciate
I was getting that in there.
Yeah.
As well as learning a little bit more about your team, what's on the horizon for SWIN, and let our listeners know a little bit more about you personally as well.
No, I like that.
Okay, sounds good. Let's start with your team. You know, I know we have you in here.
Mm-hmm.
I have certainly met a lot of your team, but what could the listeners and the viewers learn about your team, and what would you like to share?
Well, first and foremost, one of the lessons I learned is, a long time ago, that if you're the smartest person in a room, you should find a new room. So that being said, I got some really special people around me that are integral to what we do on a day-to-day basis. I don't think that we'd be able to do it without them. Just to list out, we have, John Kozar, we have Sean Satera and Kayla Kyle. And anybody who does business with us has probably, heard those names before. But, give a little insight to, pull back the curtain, to let people know exactly what it is that they do. But John has years of experience in the financial services industry. He actually started with the Merrill Lynch training program back in the 90s, which was, pretty prestigious. And he has a really unique skill set when it comes to market analysis. And it might sound boring and whatnot, but all the stock market is at the end of the day is human behavior, fear, greed, when they buy stocks, when they sell stocks. But if you're looking at it from a professional basis, John's actually looking at the chart. So he's a charter, and there are going to be patterns within that chart that historically tell you exactly what to do. And I can't count how many times John comes running into my office and he's like, "Oh my God, Scott, you should see this chart. It's a head and shoulders. If it holds right here, we're going to have this kind of measured move." I'm like, "Okay, John, in English, what do you want us to do?" And it's just, with the AI supercomputers and algorithms and everything nowadays, that's kind of a lost art. So to have someone that can actually still do that skill is invaluable. So, John is constantly on a day-to-day basis looking at these charts. And I think, what's really good about that is it's almost fair balance, because John will identify a pattern with the chart. Now we have Sean Satero. And prior to becoming a financial advisor, Sean was an engineer. So math and numbers are the universal truth, right? So Sean is able to do what's called quantitative analysis. So you got Johnny looking at charts, finding the patterns in favorable stocks, and then you have Sean able to do the quant. Now he's looking at the PE ratios and all the things that most people don't care about with a company. And he's telling us basically if the financials of that company look good, and also if it's something that we want to get into. So it's almost like we have someone covering your six. So John identifies a great pattern, and then you got Sean saying, yeah, that this company's financials support what we're about to do. So it definitely makes my life a lot easier when these guys are behind the scenes doing what they do, crunching numbers. And then when it comes to client interaction interface, we have Kayla, who when you call in, you're going to hear the most pleasant voice on the phone. But at the same time, she's like a drill sergeant when it comes to us, bullying us around the office. and making sure that things run smoothly. So,
Kayla
everybody,
is in the room. We're looking at you.
I mean, and I give kudos because, at the end of the day, everybody, again, I can't count how many times that I, talk to a client or someone that was with a client and they see one of our cards that are, at their house, and we send them out for everybody's birthdays. We send it out for the holidays, but, Kayla makes sure she comes into the office and boom, slams down a whole thing of cards. And I mean, it's, hundreds of them. And it's like, oh God, my hand's about to hurt because we have to sign every one of them. We're not getting them pre-printed. So, she wants to go the extra mile and make sure that, the client experience is good. And, if someone's becoming a new client, they're going to interact with her. So, it's truly a team approach to what we do. And I don't think that, I'd be able to, do it all by myself. So I'm extremely blessed and thankful to have John, Sean, and Kayla in the office.
That's great. So we're moving into the fourth quarter of 2025.
Mm-hmm.
2026 will be here before we know it. What's on the horizon for SWIN next year?
I mean, we're looking to expand, the services that we offer. So as of right now, again, the SWIN acronym stands for Succession Wealth and Insurance Network. And I touched a little bit about, obviously the wealth side of it with, John and Sean, but we definitely wanted to expand the offerings that we have. So just signed a joint venture to work with an agency out of New York called Hodling Insurance, and we're going to be able to, moving forward in 2026, maybe even a little before that, to offer property and casualty services.
Okay.
So homeowners insurance, auto, liability, umbrella. I mean, the full gambit, both commercial and residentially. So we're expanding the team. We're going to have Adam Giles, and I didn't want to disclose another person for privacy reasons that's going to be coming on board. But, we're going to have two people manning that division. So I'm pretty excited moving into 2026 to actually be able to offer that.
That's exciting.
Well, I mean, it definitely is, because at the end of the day, it's about budgeting. And, if we're there shopping these things around for people, the goal is to save people money. So if you can get the same coverages with the same deductibles, why in the world wouldn't you do it? So to have someone that is on your side, actually out there shopping every market around when it comes to renewals every year, it's going to be a value for the clients.
Yeah. Well, thanks for dropping the news.
Well, I'd say that's the new aspect or line that we're going to add. But we're also, in regard to the life insurance end of it, we're going to be adding some new agents in different states. So excited to, start expanding along the East Coast.
Okay.
So.
Are you going to say which states, or are we going to wait and find out?
I mean, I'm like, so SWIN itself is pretty much licensed in any given state, but we're going to be having another hub that is trained up in the state of South Carolina. So kind of halfway down between Florida, but it's a nice, kind of halfway point down the coast. But like I said, I'm really excited about, the gentleman down there that is going to be heading that ship. And, it's not necessarily going to be branded as SWIN. I mean, I'm trying to give people the autonomy to build what they want, just helping them out as kind of a internal marketing organization and being there as a resource for them. So.
That means you have to make some trips to South Carolina.
Oh, I mean,
so
twist my arm.
So sad.
Twist my arm.
That's exciting.
So hopefully then the next is Florida,
Yeah. Just like pick all the places you'd like to go.
Exactly.
Spend some time. I like that. Like move into like the Caribbean at some point.
Get a little offshore. Yeah.
I like it. Well, cool. That's very insightful. I'm sure you guys have a lot on your plate, and that sounds
just a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
It's how you eat an apple, one bite at a time. So trying not to be overwhelmed with it, but at the same time, each one of these endeavors or projects that are going on require a lot of bandwidth. So trying to find the hours in the day
Mm-hmm.
to still be able to manage the family life and work life, but to give each one of these the time that's it's deserved.
Yeah. Well, that's a great segue.
Yeah.
You just said manage family life and work life. Tell us a little bit about you personally. For those that don't know, tell us about your family. Tell us about your interests.
Okay, first, I guess I've been married since 2012 to Janelle, prior to becoming a Swinchock. Her name was Janelle Stakovich. We've known each other probably since about 2003. So, I had to make her wait, but we got married in 2012 and, enjoyed marriage life for a few years before we had our first daughter, Emily. Emily, came into our life in 2014. So I can't believe that she's going to be 11 years old in November, which is absolutely crazy because I can still remember, holding her for the first time.
Like in one arm.
Yeah, literally. And she's just eyeballing me, and she's, kind of had my heart ever since. And then we were blessed enough to have my youngest daughter, Ella, in May of 2017. And again, I can't believe she's 8. So time definitely does fly. But, enjoy them very much. They've kind of, if you will, completed my life. It's kind of like circle full. And everybody's like, oh, aren't you going to try again? You want to have a boy? I'm like, no, I am so content and happy being a girl dad. I absolutely adore it. They're like my protectors, and I love it. But it's nice to be able to see them excel in both competitive cheer and in softball and whatever they do. But it's something so new to me. Like I never thought that I'd be rooting on at a cheer competition or something like that. But watching Ella play sports and do what she does, it's awesome. But my dad always told me too. So Ella's getting into softball.
Mm-hmm.
And I will give a plug that the other night, Ella hit her first 2 home runs in a game.
In one game?
Which I was like,
awesome.
I thought my heart was going to jump out of my chest. I'm like, oh my God. She's hit them in practice before, but she hit her first 2 in the game, and she actually won the chain with the big medallion, and she was wearing it all night long. So extremely proud of her. But, like my dad always told me, it's so much harder watching you play the game versus when I did it. And I couldn't agree more now that I'm a dad on the sidelines watching it, because there's so many things over the years that I've learned and I know what to do. And, try to talk to her and teach her. But at the same time, like you get a ball, you fumble it, and you don't pick it up with your glove hand. That causes time, and it's hard to do. And if she does that, I'm like, oh God, Ella, no, Daddy always told you pick it up with your bare hand and throw it. So just the little things. It's a lot harder being over there watching than it ever was playing.
Sure. Well, you were also played, so it's
Mm-hmm.
not like you're not well versed on what's happening.
Well, it's kind of funny. So we started, getting her, Ella, some private lessons at Seaside, and they do a fantastic job over there, by the way. So I would encourage any parent who, kind of want to get their kid to the next level, go check that facility out because it's tremendous. Ella has improved leaps and bounds going down there, working with her coach, Ian. But the funny thing is, so she's in there working, with this, young guy hat on backwards and all that. And she's like, oh, he's so cute. And I'm like, Ella's going to be nervous over this. But, she's saying that. But he's telling her stuff. And then she's in the car with Janelle, my wife. And she's like, you know what, Mama? I guess Daddy does know what he's talking about. I'm like, well, I'm never going to give you a bum steer. You know what I mean? I've been there. I've done that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of funny how it resonates with her after the fact that she hears it from someone else.
I get it. My oldest is in like a media class at school, and she was telling me something about photography, and I was like, I know, but it's cool.
Yeah.
Let your teacher tell you.
It's eye-opening. It's like, just take a step back. Like, oh, okay, Ella.
What does Janelle like to do?
I mean, we enjoy, traveling. I mean, the world's so big, and as humans, we're so small. So, a successful life to us, or an enjoyable life, would be seeing all the different places, uh, eating good food, spending time with the girls. But like I said, I think at the end of the day, most of the time, our passion is going to be, traveling and really just experiencing this life, and, not leaving anything on the table, if you will.
So tomorrow's your birthday.
Oh, oh, 47 years young.
47.
Yeah.
What's your day gonna look like tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I'm going to come into the office probably for about, 30 or 40 minutes. But I was lucky enough that my birthday fell on a Friday,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I was also lucky enough that the schedule of golf events at the country club has an event tomorrow.
Okay.
So I literally get to go golf 27 holes, tournament format. So hopefully I'm going to win some money. And then my mother and my dad, Janelle and the kids. And then we have some family coming in from Ohio. And I enjoy cooking very much, right? So I've already taken out the food, and I'm going to do a meal for everyone. And then we're going to have cake and just relax. So, kind of a really good, just chill day, enjoying, letting me enjoy two things that I enjoy very much. And that's golf and, hanging out with the family. Oh, and three things: food and good food. So,
That sounds awesome.
yeah.
I like it. Cool.
Well, Saturday too. It extends into Saturday.
Oh yeah. Well, I get it.
So
It's like a birthday.
I
And
really
most people go way longer than a day. A weekend's fine.
It's like a Festivus.
Go a month.
Yeah, it's a Festivus. So I'm actually I haven't been there yet, but the new sushi place on Mount Washington, Ataru, we're going to partake in that.
Okay.
So I'm gonna crush some sushi.
Okay.
Tonight.
What's your typical order when you get sushi?
Oh, I mean, oh God, it's so. I try to find the craziest rolls on there that pair maybe some shrimp, or I mean, I love spicy tuna, yellowfin, tora, you name it. But I always like something with tuna, but the gooeyest sauces too. So not your just plain California roll, Boston roll.
Right.
I mean, I'm looking for something that's going to be like, whoo. I'm going to take a picture of that, and I'm probably going to get it all over my clothes when I eat it.
Okay.
So,
I haven't been there.
and Rangoons.
Oh, yeah.
Rangoons, of course.
Well, I have some questions that I thought maybe we could move into.
I can't promise that I'll have the answers.
Let's start with the 50-30-20 rule for basic budgeting framework. What can you tell me a little bit about what those numbers represent and why it's a good rule of thumb?
I mean, if you notice 50-30-20, it adds up to 100%, right? 50% of the money that you bring in as an individual or as a family or as a household should be spent on the things you need: your mortgage, your rent, right? Your auto insurance, your car payment, right? The necessities, your utility bills and whatnot, right? So you make $50,000, well, $25,000 needs to be earmarked towards that. Okay. Then, of course, I mean, you can't go through life and not do what you want to do. So the 30% is going to be what you want to do. Do we want to go out to eat? Do we want to go on vacation? So the 30 is going to encompass all those wants. You know what I mean? And then the 20 is, well, obviously you can't work your entire life. So you have to save. And whether that's saving for retirement, saving for a rainy day, that 20% should be earmarked for that. And if you put together a budget that simple, you're teeing yourself up for some success. And I mean, granted, life can happen and throw you a curveball, but for the most part, doing something that simple can literally, maybe save you in the case of an emergency. But yeah, it's such a simple rule, so easy to follow. And, anyone, you don't need a financial advisor or a wealth advisor to tell you to do that. If you're doing that at the most basic premise, you're going to be probably ahead of the game.
I'm going to take that one step further because I see that it was 20% savings / debt payoff. Where's the balance there? Is it dependent on age, needs, all of the above? Of that 20%, like what should someone be saving versus working towards paying off student loans or debts?
Well, I mean, 10 cents from Jump Street, from the time that you're earning $1, 10 cents of every dollar should go into your retirement savings. But I will put an asterisk to that because I understand. And I mean, everybody who's probably lived the last 5 years and has noticed what interest rates look like can totally understand. And I know that everyone might have not been able to get through these times. And, the easy thing to do may be to just swipe a credit card, right? Credit card debt is devastating. And that, so the reason that I put an asterisk on what I say is, if you're coming in and you're investing, 10%, you're putting into a mutual fund that's averaging 7%, okay, 7-8% per annum. I mean, what good is that if you're paying 23-25% in credit card debt? I mean, if you're carrying $20,000 or $10,000 on a credit card at that kind of percent, you're talking $2,000 or $4,000 a year that you're just throwing away. So what good is that putting it into a retirement account or a savings account if you got that debt hanging out there? You're just losing money. So, when you're budgeting and we kind of create a plan for people, we want to eliminate that debt. And it's paramount because, again, that is a fixed debt that you're going to pay. Whatever you carry on that credit card, if that credit card is 23%, 25%, I think the average credit card right now is like 24.9%. They've went up too. So right now on $10,000, you're nearly spending $2,500 a year on interest. So if you're only making that interest payment, your principal's not coming down and you just allocated $2,500. How nice would that $2,500 be in your retirement account? You're just throwing it away. So we need to cultivate a plan that's going to allow you to pay that debt off so that you can now start saving and getting that 20% into that bucket. But you're just throwing it away if it's going towards interest. And I mean, there is good interest out there, like, a home mortgage, which is tax deductible, but the credit card interest, it's diabolical. It's going to eat you alive. That's just money that's just, you're throwing away. Might as well light it on fire.
Okay.
But I will say again, that I understand if that's what you needed to do to get by, we're just going to show you how to put together a plan to dig out of that hole. And you do have options. I mean, open another credit card that has a 0% balance transfer on it. Move that balance over. Now you're not paying any interest. But the trap to that is the fact that, oh my God, I now have a credit card with no balance on it. And the urge to swipe it again. You got to understand, to get moving forward, you got to get out of the hole. So now you're paying on this card with no debt. So or no interest. So why not, instead of still putting it in your savings, now double that payment? So now you're really knocking that debt down. So again, it's kind of coming up with a plan to get yourself, out from behind the 8 ball, if you will.
Gotcha. What is some advice that you would give your 20-year-old self?
I mean, if I go back in time, I think that there are plenty of mistakes that I made. Especially in regard to what I'll say is instant gratification, not looking at the big picture. I mean, it's just stupid stuff. If I go back in time, I can specifically remember. So, unfortunately, I had a family member that passed away. And they were a big collector in comic books. I mean, huge collection. And I'm not just talking like regular comic books now. I'm talking like Silver Age stuff. So I inherited from him, droves of comic books. I was like, oh man, what can you do with these? And when I got those, the internet wasn't really big. So there wasn't like online sites where you knew that you could sell and find the fair market value. When I collected baseball cards back in the day, you had to get a Beckett book and you had to flip through and find the card to see what it was worth. So it wasn't as easy as it was today. So I'm 18, 19, 20 years old. And now all of a sudden I got all these comic books and I'm like, I'm going to sell them. I want to put some rims on my car. I want to put a speaker system in there. I want the Fosgates. I'm like, okay, let's go. I literally went down to the Phantom of the Attic and I unloaded all those comic books, didn't save $1 and put that stuff on my car. And in hindsight, so help me God, those things would probably be worth $250,000 today. And I have nothing other than a car that's
have a picture or two,
other than the speakers and the rims that are now in a junkyard.
Yeah.
So stupid. So I'd say that, you know, the best advice that I could give my 20-year-old self or younger self, if you will, is don't go for the instant gratification. You know what I mean? There's got to be some balance there, you know? So God, I wish I had those comic books right now. Ta.
Yeah.
And I think that's the trap that a lot of young people fall into, especially nowadays with the everything moves in 7 to 30-second clips on the phones and all that stuff. How many likes do you get? What's the best picture you can post? Yeah. And, you know, and that's a mistake. You know, you can get caught up with keeping with the Jones, and it's not about that. It's about just making smart decisions. And the one thing that we can't get back in this life is time, you know? And as long as you're not making decisions that do irreparable damage to yourself, I mean, that's fine and dandy. Use those mistakes or lessons, you know, to be better moving forward, you know. But, yeah, God almighty, if I had those comic books.
Yeah, around that time, I was dating someone, and he was same thing.
Oh, I wanted to feel the bass underneath my ass cheeks on the car. It's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I remember him talking about like Dynamat and like making sure that it doesn't like rattle in a way that sounds cheap. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'd say, like I said, stupidity.
The Fosgates, I remember.
The Rockford Fosgates.
Ooh, yep. So let's say your 20-year-old self was great at saving and thinking about the future. Mm-hmm. But in reality, I think there aren't a lot of 20-year-olds that are thinking future focused. Mm-hmm. What happens when I retire? Should I save enough? So what advice would you give to someone who wasn't that way at 20 and maybe is a little bit later in the game to starting, or at least starting to really mm-hmm. contribute to a retirement savings to try to get to a point where it's not going to be a struggle mm-hmm. for them come retirement? And what happens if the money runs out?
Okay. I mean, the big thing with that is I always say that it's never really too late. I mean, it's never too late. Let me fair balance that for realistic goals. Okay. I mean, if you're 50, 55 years old and you don't have anything saved and you said, Scott, can you make me $1 million? I mean, that not a realistic goal unless you plan on, you know, hitting the lottery, winning a scratch off ticket, getting a massive inheritance from your family. It's just not feasible. But it truly is never too late. It's not about timing the markets. It's about time in market. And the one thing that we can't get back is time. So, you know, that person or that client needs to set up just a more aggressive budget. And I'm not necessarily saying that they need to invest more aggressively, because with more aggressiveness comes risk, mm-hmm. right? But they need to invest more aggressively in the amount that they're willing to contribute per month to catch up to what they missed out on early in life. Now, when you start and you're putting away $100 or $200 a month, and you know you see it grow to $10,000, you're like, okay, you know, and if that $10,000 makes 10% the next year, that's $1,000, okay. But the crazy thing is now when you start actually thinking about length of time in market, and that 10,000 was maybe 100,000 or that was a 500,000. Well, now 10% is $10,000. And if you have 500,000, 10% is $50,000. So it's about accruing, that egg. So it's never too late. It's just what is within budget, because you have self-evaluated and realized that, you haven't done what you needed to do, right, for retirement. So now how much can you actually earmark to get in there because you're playing catch up? So again, you got to be more aggressive on what you're willing to contribute every month to your retirement, not necessarily be more aggressive in the market because it can all go away. But for those people that get to retirement and they're, kind of wondering, is their money going to last? And again, that comes down to a budget, but it's not going to be a linear budget. Oh, I'm 65 years old and, I'm going to live to be 95. Well, the average person lives to be 81 years old. Okay. So that being said, most people are trying to put together budgets that last, 30 years. It's not what they need to do, because I like to deal in statistics. Okay. So the average person, when they retire, they spend a majority of their money in the first 11 years. After that, fact is, you're probably going to become sedentary. You're going to sit on your butt. You're going to watch TV. You're going to have your coffee, and people are going to come visit you. I always try to tell people too, it's not about longevity in life. It's about the actual quality of life in your longevity. Because what good is having a boatload of money or this whole pot of money that you can't use because you have to go to dialysis, you have to, all the things that, it's about having, the money while you're healthy and able to spend it. So statistically speaking, again, I'll go back to it. You will spend a majority of your money in the first 11 years. And then everybody's always concerned about inflation. What's growing at 3%? So I'm actually going to have less on my fixed income with Social Security. And again, I'll go back. You are going to spend less money. So if you have accrued a nice pot of money, I said, I want to be like the devil and the angel, like those old cartoons. The devil's telling you to do something, the angel's telling you. The angel's telling you to save, the devil's telling you to spend. And you know what? I've sat across the table, and I can't even count as many times with a widow or widower, and they were like, you know what? So-and-so didn't even get to enjoy any of this money. You've worked your entire life to accrue this money. You better enjoy it too. So it's like kind of a catch-22. Well, do I leave some to my kids? Do I enjoy it? No, the answer is you should enjoy it. They're going to have their opportunity to make money. This was your opportunity. This was the 30, 40 years that you've worked to now spend time with your loved ones. Enjoy the money. And, rather than maybe giving your kid, $50,000, $100,000 inheritance, don't you think that they're going to remember a beach trip that you took them all to? So you have to enjoy that money. That's the things that they're going to remember. That's what the grandkids are going to talk about. So that's what I'm going to try to help you accomplish.
Well, you talked about whether you should leave kids money, and we both are parents, and sometimes when we're budgeting, that's not always front of mind. But you always want to set your kids up for success. So let's say in this instance, myself, okay, between my husband and I, we have 7 kiddos. As you can imagine, that ain't cheap. So budgets are very important. What's your advice for when you have a pretty tight budget to, be able to set your kids up for future success?
I mean, every little thing happens. And I'll go back to the fact that you have family too, right? I think back about my childhood. And honest to God, there's probably only 2 or 3 toys that I think that I could have lived without. But we had more toys than we knew what to do with that eventually became junked. Every one of your kids, I'm sure, has a birthday. They have Christmas. They have all the other times in the year that someone wants to give them something. What if you would actually just say, you know what? I'm opening up an account. And then every, holiday, and I know people want to give things and gifts, right? But when you're talking about something like that, there's strength in community, there's strength in family, there's strength in numbers, right? So if you would actually just put it out there and say, here's the account, rather than going out and buying this Bluey or this Blues Clues toy, put $20 in the account. Trust me, it adds up over time. Because again, I go back to it. It's not about timing the market. It's about length of time in the market.
Mm-hmm.
So when your kids are younger and they're getting that money in there, again, the average person doesn't start investing until they're 25 years old. Statistically speaking, you double your money every 8 to 10 years in the market. So now if you have a kid that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you're giving them more doubles on their money. Okay, that's a heck of a head start.
Mm-hmm.
And go back when your kids are 25, 30 years old, ask them what toys that they remember. And then you think about how much waste was out there versus if that $20 went into this account
Mm-hmm.
and it grew to this or that $50, right? And, and maybe the grandparents or whatever, and they're going to want to buy toys to see the kids' enjoyment playing with them.
Sure.
But a lot of people are going to respect the fact of what you're trying to do with your kids financially. And then they're going to do it time over time again. And that's going to add up. Little numbers become big numbers.
I know we talked about retirement, and I said, what do I do if money runs out?
Mm-hmm.
And I know you've alluded to like when you explicitly said when people spend the most amount of money. But
Mm-hmm.
let's just say like I went hog wild in those first 11 years and I'm still kicking.
Yeah. I mean, that's a true dilemma. I mean, at that point, it's going to be pretty hard to get a job. I mean, it's hard for 50-year-olds to find jobs right now based on this new landscape, right? So let alone being 70, 80 years old, trying to say, well, you know what? I squandered my money. I'm kind of shit out of luck right now, right? I mean, when it comes to that, I mean, there still are programs out there with state assistance and stuff like that. I mean, if there's active military, you got improved pension benefit through aid and attendance. You just need to be willing to admit it and seek help. That's the best advice that I can give at that point, because it's very hard to throw a blanket approach on this, because every person who finds themselves in that situation got there because of decisions they made. But in order to diagnose that or to try to come up with something that's going to be helpful, I need to see all the pieces to the puzzle, right? And only when I see, and that's what information is, pieces
Mm-hmm.
to the puzzle. So when I have enough information in regard to their scenario or their situation, I can say, okay, here's the big picture. Here's what we need to do. But you never want to just let someone flail.
Okay.
I think the most important thing to do, and again, I'll echo that, is the fact that, if that's the situation that you find yourself in, boy, you better not go out there and just start swiping cards left and right. Just say, you know what? Here's where I am. I need help. Just admit it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know what, whether it's through family or professionals like myself and my team, we're going to try to put together a solution for you.
Let's talk IRAs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A lot of people want to know if they can turn their traditional into a Roth, and maybe a little bit about the benefits of both,
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of school us a little
I
bit.
actually get that question all the time. So someone might have a traditional IRA,
Mm-hmm.
or they might have a 401k because, they separated from their employer
Mm-hmm.
and it's time to roll it over. And I mean, so many times people are like, okay, Scott, I want you to open a Roth IRA and put that in. Sorry, it's not the way that works. Okay. So a little lesson, any kind of 401k, unless it has a Roth aspect to it or a traditional IRA, you as a investor putting your money in what's called tax deferred. Okay. Meaning that you're not paying tax on it right now. Okay. So if you have a paycheck that you're making $2,500 a month, okay, and you're putting $250 into your IRA or your 401k, you're actually only taxed on $2,250. So you're not paying tax on that money yet, right? But when are the taxes due? When it comes out, right? So that's what a traditional IRA, that's what a 401k does. It gives you the ability to drop said contribution from your income so that you're not paying taxes on it. So when it comes time to say, I want to roll that into a Roth, which on the other hand, a Roth is money that you've already paid taxes on that you're now putting into a retirement vehicle. Therefore, it's growing tax-free because you've paid the taxes. And here's the thing I say all the time. Why is it that the government puts a limit on what you can contribute to it? It's probably the most powerful tool that there is out there. If they're saying, Mr. and Mrs. Investor, I'm only going to allow you to put $7,000 on this, but you can only invest in this if you make up to $185,000 a year. So not only are they putting a limit on what you can contribute, they're saying if you make this much money, you can't put money into it. That there is telling you that it is the most powerful financial vehicle out there, right? So now the Roth, everything that you put in, everything that it grows, when it comes time to take out, you're not paying another tax on it. So everybody comes up to me and is like, hey, I want to make my 401k. I want to make my traditional IRA Roth. Sorry. That's money that you haven't paid taxes on yet. So, I mean, you can actually do it. Okay. The process is called recharacterization, but everything that was in your 401k, everything that was in your IRA, when you recharacterize to a Roth, becomes treated as ordinary income. And you're going to pay taxes on that. So it's
no bueno.
No, it's a scary thing to do. I mean, you got $200,000 in a traditional IRA and you say, I want to make it a Roth. Well, say for instance, in your job, you made $100,000. Well, now that year in your taxes, you're filing for $300,000 in income because you put that in there, because you recharacterized it to a Roth. So it's a touchy subject, but again, I can't state it hard enough how powerful a Roth IRA is. And all you have to do is look at, why does the government put an income threshold on it? And why do they put a limit to what you can put in it?
Is that individual income or household income?
Household income.
Okay.
It's been going up year after year. Last time I looked, it was like 178. I think it's higher than that now. It might be approaching 200,000, but if you can get money into a Roth, in my opinion, in my financial opinion, and I think it's literally the most powerful vehicle out there. But again, inside of that, you can invest in whatever you want. You're merely using the vehicle. So again, you can, whether you're putting stocks in it, mutual funds, ETFs, whatever it is, you and your financial professional can talk about that. And that comes down to risk, but merely the shell or vehicle that you're using to grow money tax-free.
That's it.
It's the way to go.
Thank you for the SWIN mug.
Oh, I appreciate you taking it.
Printed on the correct side.
Yeah, it is. Mine is not. Here's mine. Mine's blank. Good one, Scott.
You just have to, a little bit of that.
Yeah.
What are you drinking?
Coffee, just black. I mean, trying, I don't know. I like my coffee to taste like coffee. Oh, unless, of course, it tastes like a pumpkin spice or a caramel frappuccino. But today it's black.
It is pumpkin spice season.
Yes, it is. Tis the season.
Tis the season.
I mean, I think this should be the season year round, but that's just me.
I agree.
But yeah, it's always these coffee. I drink 1 cup a day. I mean, I think you guys can notice that I'm pretty high energy, so I think I'm only allowed 1 cup a day.
Do you drink other caffeinated beverages?
I mean, I used to, but I kind of joke all the time that I'm a girl dad because I sucked down more Mountain Dews than I knew what to do with. Lost the ability to reproduce men. So,
never heard that theory before.
If it's not a theory, it should be.
It's not. It's definitely out there somewhere.
But yeah, Mountain Dew and I'm a Pepsi guy, so Mountain Dew and Pepsi.
Okay.
Yeah, Coke, no thanks.
I'm thinking there's probably a few people that have frequently asked questions that we haven't touched upon. So let's make sure that when we post shorts, on social media, or when we post the long form, like if you guys have questions, definitely leave a comment and we'll make note and circle back to them later.
Yeah, I definitely think that's a great idea. So anybody that wants to, ask any questions, or there's a topic that they would like to see covered on future podcasts, I would encourage them, leave a message. We'd love to talk about what you want to hear about. But, I appreciate everybody tuning in today. And I wanted to thank Danielle for being gracious enough to ask me the questions. And, I will end today's podcast by saying that Coke is terrible, Pepsi is great. And that I look forward to, doing more of these in the future. And this is Scott signing off from another Sink or Swin podcast. Thank y'all.
Thanks.